Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of The Wandering Earth 2, a Chinese science fiction film from 2023 that is a prequel to one of the more high-profile releases of recent years. So the events in this film occur before the events of its predecessor, and it stars Andy Lau and Wu Jing. Now, I did review the first Wandering Earth film when it came out in the US back in 2019. I enjoyed it despite its insanely unrealistic elements. But how does this prequel stand up to its predecessor? Let's find out here. After learning that the sun is rapidly burning out, humans engage in a desperate attempt to propel Earth to a new solar system, leaving the fate of humankind in the hands of the individuals brave enough to accept the perilous mission. As the sun becomes an expanding red giant and threatens to engulf the Earth in 100 years, the United Nations, now renamed as the United Earth Government, decides to proceed with the Moving Mountain Project, as it's called, a proposal for building 10,000 gigantic nuclear fusion engines that can propel the Earth and move it out of the solar system, now towards another inhabitable star system, presumably. And then there's a sister project that they have called the Lunar Exile Project, which was also initiated and would involve pushing the moon away from the Earth, utilizing fusion engines to minimize its gravitational attraction to the Earth so the Earth can escape. In doing this type of thing, the UEG shuts down and bans the Digital Life Project, which is a third project, one that proposes continuing human civilization through digital immortality by developing mind-uploading technologies, despite skepticism and increasingly violent protests from the public. So it seems like there's a lot going on in this film. It's not quite as complicated as it seems, though. Once you know the different factions, it's pretty easy to follow. Now, during the opening half hour, we're treated to a big action set piece involving tons of aircraft or spacecraft, and you have two different factions who are trying to destroy or protect this huge fusion engine that's connected to a very high elevator system that goes up in space from the Earth. It's similar to something you would see from, like, Independence Day, like the finale of that film. Only it's all human participants. There's no aliens in this. Now, Wu Jing actually gets a short hand-to-hand fight scene during this scene against a group of terrorists who are attempting to sabotage the project. Now, the bad guys technically kind of win, and a lot of the nations pull out of this project. Luckily for planet Earth, China has the moral fortitude to do what's right and save humanity. This is, of course, a Chinese film, so that plot won't surprise you. Now, I'm an American who grew up on the Go USA movies from the 1980s, so I'm right at home with stuff like this. In any case, the first big action set piece is actually pretty good, and the film definitely comes alive during that scene. There are a few other set pieces in this film that you might expect from a science fiction disaster movie. You get nuclear weapons that make an appearance and must be used to alter a giant object's trajectory away from Earth. There's a fight in space that takes place with, like, scattered debris that's similar to an asteroid field. Of course, the premise of actually moving an entire planet or a moon using this level of technology is completely ridiculous. But it's also the element that contributes something different to The Wandering Earth and The Wandering Earth 2. Even within the vast realm of science fiction cinema, you don't really see this particular premise as often as a lot of other stuff. Probably because it's so stupid, but still, it makes it a little bit different, gives the film a bit of imagination, and it's more memorable because of that. At the bare minimum, it's interesting to watch due to its outlandishness alone, with its premise. Now, in terms of the character work, it's fine. Andy Lau's character is caught between two of these human factions. Those who want to focus more on propelling the Earth into space, and those who want to simply transition humanity into a digital existence. They won't be reliant on, survivable conditions that much. And Andy Lau's character's daughter passed away a few years at the beginning of the film. but he has 2 minutes of her digital consciousness stored on a hard drive. And so you would think his goals would align with that Digital Life Project group, but his motivations are split because he's hired to assist humanity moving the Earth out of orbit. And it's probably the most interesting character dilemma of the movie, and it does have a payoff later on. Now, Wu Jing's character, on the other hand, less intriguing from a script writing standpoint. The problem with his story is that it's very cliche. You know, they could have eliminated his entire backstory and would not have lost much. Now, I am a fan of Wu Jing, of course, so it's always nice to see him in movies, but I wish he would just go back to more traditional action flicks, you know. Now, The Wandering Earth 2, I think, you need to understand, and I always complain about this, and I'm going to complain about it again, the film is almost 3 full hours long. Yes. Most surprisingly, it still moves at a decent pace for the most part, but, I mean, they could have trimmed this down. They could have trimmed it down. So that's an obvious complaint. Obviously, the outlandishness of some of the science fiction elements is also a legitimate criticism. Production values and CGI are pretty good overall, good enough to not be, distracting to a significant degree. But I think overall, I actually prefer the first Wandering Earth film a little bit more than this. It was a little bit more fun to watch. It was almost a full hour shorter, and I don't know, it just felt like it was more even throughout. But I do think the finale in this one is satisfying to a degree. I did enjoy this prequel enough to give it a moderate recommendation. It's widely available on a number of streaming platforms, including YouTube and Amazon. So let me know what you think about this film or this franchise in the comments section. And as always, I'll see you next time.